welcome into Red Empress Tarot. Hi, I'm Patty. I'm an intuitive healer and a reader on the Twin Flame path myself, so I'm very familiar with this journey. I specialize in reading for those in separation on the Twin Flame path. So welcome back to my beautiful subscribers. Welcome to the new people. I'm so glad you found me. I believe that if you're here, you've been guided to be here. There's a reason. We have some work to do together. Let's keep going in a good direction together. This message is a mirror message, which is a he said, she said spread between divine masculine and divine feminine. It looks at where they're both currently, and we end that up with some charms and some channeled messages from your person. Be sure that you tap into your inner guidance. It's one of the big lessons on this journey, is to learn to use your intuition. And so these readings can be a great tool for you to practice that. So tap in and make sure you're only internalizing messages that fit your story. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit, okay? It could be part of the message for you. The whole thing could resonate. It could be just for you. Or next time it could be for you. It's a really good idea to listen though, hear it through, because you can see where different people in the collective are in their journeys. And sometimes if you're not as far along, that gives you some help. You know where it can go, and that can be really beautiful. If you could please take that moment to just hit the thumbs up on the video. The way that works and why that's important, I just want to explain it, is that, there are a lot of people out there that are on this twin flame journey and are feeling a little bit lost. And this kind of a reading can be really helpful. So your hitting the thumbs up helps bump up the algorithm for YouTube, and it lets YouTube know, hey, let's spread it more. So that's the reason for doing that. And that's also the reason it's so appreciated. So thank you for doing that. I am going to be pulling a couple of extra messages at the end, and this is something I want to try and do in most of my videos. I really want to do a little more one-on-one kind of work, or very small group work. So I'm going to be pulling some situations that are specifically for people that will watch this video. And the spirit will give some advice on the situation, and I'll read that and interpret it for you. We'll do a couple of those. And I think I'm going to start doing some compilation, kind of like pick a cards on those, like during the week too. If I have time to do it, I'm going to do it, because I really feel like it's so valuable to get those little pieces of advice to just keep you on track. Okay. If you hit that subscribe and the all, you'll get the notifications for all of those that come up, and that gives you the best chance to get the ones that come up that are for you. Okay, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Okay, let's go ahead and get into your mirror message. Just going to show a little bit about how I do this. First, I ground and protect. Grounding is, if you're new to this, it's a really good skill to know. So put your feet flat on the ground. You can be sitting or standing. And from your root chakra, which is your very bottom chakra, you want to picture a rope or a string that extends from your root chakra down toward the center of the earth. And imagine a hook at the end of that rope or string that connects in somewhere to the center of the earth. So you have this nice taut string between you and the earth. Then imagine your negative and excess energy draining down throughout your whole body, down that string, and dispersing out into the earth as it goes. And then imagine a golden sun above you, raining down positive energy and just re-energizing you with all positive energy. And that's a really good tool to learn to ground. There are other ways to do it, but that's how I like to do it before I read. And then protect, imagine, if you will, a bubble of energy that you're pushing out from the center of your being out around you. In the color of your energy, everyone has a different color, perceived color for their energy. Mine is white light energy. So I imagine a white bubble of light energy surrounding me, and that protects me. And then I call on Archangel Michael, please surround me with your purple light protection for that added layer of protection. So I feel protected during my reading, my space, my cards, my crystals. You, during the reading, are protected. Then I like to either use sage or Palo Santo. I'm going to use Palo Santo here. It's kind of something I'm doing a little bit more of. I love both. Sage can be really, I call it linty. When you use it, it just burns off little pieces, and if you're waving it around, you get pieces of sage everywhere, where Palo Santo just doesn't do that. So with Palo Santo, you burn the wood pretty well. And it lasts kind of a long time, and it has a beautiful fragrance. And then you use the smoke, and you permeate your cards, your crystals, your space, your room with the smoke of that, and it cleanses the energy, so you only have positive energy. I like to surround myself with it in a circle, and then it'll burn itself out. Okay. Now that we've done that, I'm going to use tarot, and I like to have a crystal on top of my tarot to feels like it protects the deck. And I'm going to call on spirit. Some people do it before they pick up the deck. Some people do it while they're shuffling. I like to feel the cards shuffle while I'm doing it. And I just, ancestors, angels, protectors, higher spirit, thank you for being with me here today and always. I appreciate you so much. I have the most beautiful team that is always with me. A lot of my guides are people that have been passed on in my family, my ancestors, more recent and much older. I've got a whole line of them. The first time I saw them, it was in a line, and there's one particular person, it's my great-grandmother, that's in the front. Her name is Olive. And I never met her. I'm sorry, I changed that. I met her once when I was very, very little. I just barely remember. I was probably 3. She was at the end of her life. And she was a healer. She was an intuitive healer, or, you know, if you want to say witch, you can say that. But it wasn't talked about at the time, so people didn't really know that. People came from all over the place to be healed by her. She was very well known, but it wasn't talked about in the family because those things back then were often considered bad or scary, and stigma attached to it, right? So she couldn't openly be who she was. And the times have changed. I can now be openly who I am and say that I'm a healer and let you know that I'm a reader and an intuitive, and I can carry forth her gifts in myself and all of my ancestors that preceded her. There's this big lines, and now when I look at them, when I see them, it's almost like they're in a big auditorium and there's this huge group of people. So I have a pretty extensive group of guides with me. And I have a core group that's kind of always just right there. And they're on my left, and some people, they're on the right. It just depends. And yeah, I am really, really grateful for, and it's not just people passed on in my family. I've had my own higher spirit and other protectors. Maybe I'll talk about those in another video. Anyway, I call on them and let them know. I acknowledge their presence and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me read, because I really do feel like the reason that I can read so well is because I have this great support, spiritual support system. Help me be a clear channel for accurate messages that are for the highest good of all parties involved. Okay. Okay, let's get reading. So we already got a card come out. We're looking at Divine Masculine's headspace. And okay, so you'll see readers like call out, you know, shuffling, help me find a card for Divine Masculine's headspace, his heart space, his possible actions. Spirit knows what I'm doing. So this one popped out early, and I think it was for me to go off on that little tangent and explain to you about my connection with spirit and how that works. My guides know what I'm pulling for. I can say it out loud, but my intentions are already set, and they know what they are. So anyway, this one particularly is Divine Masculine's Headspace. This is a Page of Wands. Spirit, what is Divine Masculine's current heart space? What is Divine Masculine's current heart space? Give me a card that will explain something important that we need to know about his heart space. And this is for the collective watching this video at the time that they find it. Doesn't really matter when it was recorded. It's timeless. Energy is fluid as well as time is fluid. Tell me about Divine Masculine's heart space. And I'll bring these cards closer and we'll read them all out the messages when they're all on the board. So we've got the Hanged Man in reverse in his heart space. Okay, that's good. And just so you know, I take reversals in tarot, but not in oracle decks unless they're built to be that way, specifically. Felt something flip. I did. 2 of them. Okay, Divine Masculine's possible actions in the next 30 days. We've got 6 of Wands and we've got 10 of Wands. I usually just want 1 card, but sometimes I just get 2. And sometimes it's the combination that explains the situation. Okay, Divine Feminine's headspace currently. What's Divine Feminine's headspace? What is in Divine Feminine's headspace right now, Spirit? Show us what it is. Show us Divine Feminine's headspace. I've only used these cards once or twice so far, so they're still really new feeling. But I was just so pulled to them. I have several decks that I kind of use a lot, but this one just talked to me today. And a lot of times the imagery on the deck is a really big factor in reading the card. And all the artwork is done differently on different decks. That's why we have different decks. Different artwork, different energy. And then sometimes you need something different to explain really what's happening. Divine Feminine's headspace is the 7 of Pentacles. Is that one? Oh, there's 2 cards. 7 of Pentacles and the Sun. Okay, very nice. Divine Feminine's heart space currently. What's Divine Feminine's current heart space? Okay. We've got the 2 of Wands. Okay. And Divine Feminine's possible actions in the next 30 days. What is Divine Feminine's possible actions in the next 30 days? I'm just thinking of a reader right now that does a similar type of spread when she works her, what is her name? What does she go? Unbroken Intuition. I really, really, really like her. Hers is slightly different, but it's the same kind of flavor that my mirror message has. And if you guys haven't checked out Unbroken Intuition, I'm not affiliated with her. We have never talked or anything. I really like her. So have a look at her. I just feel like for some reason this collective needed to hear that. Divine Feminine's actions in the next 30 days. Possible actions. It's always, you can never say definitely for a future prediction because free will exists and energies flip-flop. So we can make our best guess as to what's going to happen. But we cannot make, anyone that tells you exactly what's going to happen in the future is probably needs to work on that, because you just can't really do that. Not accurately because of free will. Can't take away people's free will. Okay. Divine Feminine's possible actions in the next 30 days. Oh, okay. There it is. King of Cups. Okay. And bottom of the deck energy is the 9 of Wands. Boundaries. fences, walls. Okay. Then let's go ahead and get clarifiers and grab some water real quick. Okay, and clarify the Page of Wands. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. Clarify again the Page of Wands. Let me get another clarifier for the Page of Wands. What is the page here? Why is the page here? Why is the page here? Explain to me. This is a different energy than the collectives we've been reading for of late. So I just want to point that out. This might be a different collective. We'll see then. Let me get all the clarifiers out on the table. I could be wrong. I don't like to read until everything's out because the reading one card is so dependent upon the cards around it. That's why we get clarifiers. Okay. Clarify. Why is the Page of Wands here for Divine Masculine's headspace? Let's clarify Divine Masculine's headspace, please. Clarify the page. It's that one. We've got Seven of Swords in reverse. My deck is not reversed. These are just coming out reverse. Every once in a while, too many reversals come out. I kind of look, but it's not. The cats are upright, so you can see that most of the cards are upright. Okay. The Hanged Man. Why is the Hanged Man reverse in Divine Masculine's heart space? Why is the Hanged Man in reverse in Divine Masculine's heart space? I feel like he's coming out of the Hanged Man energy in his heart space. But let's see what comes up. I'm going to jump the gun. We've got the Three of Cups and we've got the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. And then why are the Six of Wands and the Ten of Wands in the Divine Masculine's possible actions in the next 30 days? We've got the Hermit. And we've got the Temperance. Got Temperance. Divine Feminine's headspace. Too many flipped. Divine Feminine's headspace. Why is the Seven of Pentacles and the Sun here? It's such a beautiful combination. I'll tell you why in a minute. Why is the Seven of Pentacles and the Sun here? All three of these flipped. I'm not feeling like I should take them though. Okay, there we go. Okay, this flipped. I put it back in, then it flipped out again. Clearly supposed to have the Five of Wands. And what else is here? These are all too many. If a card is meant to come out, it's going to come out regardless of whether you put it back or not. You could second guess in yourself and say, okay, that wasn't supposed to come out. And literally, I've had that happen the past 2 readings. Something, I put it back in, second guessing, and then right back out it comes immediately. Why is Seven of Pentacles and the Sun here? Okay, and I keep getting that one. I'm right on top. Judgment. Okay, meant to have those cards. Patty, stop second guessing. Two of Wands. Why is the Two of Wands here in Divine Feminine's heart space? Two of Wands, the Moon, and the King of Cups. And we've got the King of Cups and the King of Cups right adjacent each other here. So that's really significant for the reading. We'll get into that. Why is the King of Cups here in Divine Feminine's possible actions in the next 30 days? Why is Divine Feminine? There's the Divine Feminine's actions in the next 30 days. Why is the King of Cups here? There's way too many. Although it tells me that there's forward movement energy. When they fly forward like that, whether they hit the ground or not, I always feel like there's like forward movement energy happening. Why is the King of Cups here? Why is the King of Cups here? Why is the King of Cups here for Divine Feminine's possible actions in the next 30 days? Why is the King of Cups here? Why don't we want to clarify it? What's the clarifiers? Okay, the Tower reversed, King of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. The bottom of the deck energy is the King of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Let me just take a minute to absorb and really pick up on the energy. Okay. All right, the Page of Wands for the Divine Masculine's headspace. We've got clarifying it, the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Let me look at the combination of Seven of Swords in reverse. I'm getting that there might have been some lying going on. There might have been either lies of omission, like keeping things from you, like the Divine Masculine, because we're on the Divine Masculine side. I feel like the Divine Masculine was keeping things from the Divine Feminine, whether he told outright lies or just kept him close to the vest, and it's feeling like he wants to come out of the energy of doing that. He doesn't want to do it anymore. When we have it in reverse, it's the opposite. So I'm feeling like Divine Masculine in his headspace is like, I gotta tell the truth. I can't keep keeping stuff from Divine Feminine. It's just not gonna work. If I do that, you know, if I keep in the energy of holding back my truth, I need to come out of it, because if I keep in that energy, I'm never going to get my new beginning. And, you know, the Ace of Cups upright is all about having a new beginning with the Divine Feminine. It's a new beginning in love. And it's like the Divine Masculine knows in his headspace now that in order to have that new beginning, he has to come out of this energy of the Seven of Swords, of that lying, keeping things away from him. He has to be truthful and honest about how he really feels and about what's going on in his life. It's not just about his feelings, this is about actions, past actions, present actions, okay? There needs to be an honesty. And this card is about getting that honesty, because right now that lack of honesty is keeping him from his new beginning with his feminine, and he knows it. These clarify the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is an immature start in passion. It's like, I have passion for you, but I've been immature about it. I've kept things from you. I haven't been honest. And how can I be a king if I'm doing page-like things? If I'm doing immature things, if I don't have an healthy adult connection with you where I'm communicating and there's honesty and clarity and transparency in the relationship, right? Divine Masculine in his headspace is understanding that he needs to mature in this fashion. These are lessons he has to get down, because he's got to come out of that energy, the deceptive kind of energy. And if he, you know, because it's been blocking his new beginning. You can't have the new beginning until you have, in a twin flame connection, right? We're just specifically talking about twin flame connections. You can't have your new beginning if you're in just a deceptive energy. If you're being childish about it, you have to be open, honest, vulnerable, transparent, okay? Divine Masculine's heart space. Let's look at that. So we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. So Divine Masculine has been in a Hanged Man energy. He put himself in this silent timeout for some time, trying to gain a new perspective on the connection. All right, he put himself in the tree, and he can get out anytime he wants. And guess what? It's in reverse. He's coming out now. He's had enough time. He's gained his perspective. Look at this. He's illuminated, right? He's gotten his downloads from the divine. And we look at again, it's a similar energy from the head space, the heart space. His 10 of Cups has been blocked. You know, 10 of Cups is all about happy family, happy life, happy wife, you know, the whole deal. It's about abundance in all areas of your life, of your family, whether you have children, whether your family is you and your fur babies, whatever it is. It's upside down. He's been blocked from this in his heart space. He really feels this block. He really has been feeling this while he's in this hangman energy, right? But he's coming out of that energy. 3 of Cups, he wants the celebration. And, you know, people see this 3 of Cups, and, you know, especially when you watch a lot of readings, you know that 3 of Cups can be the card that signifies a third-party situation. And it very well could well be that there was a third-party situation here, but I don't believe that there is now. I'm getting this as the other energy for this card, which is purely, it's celebration. I want to come out of this introspective time. I want to unblock my 10 of Cups, and I want to celebrate with my divine feminine. That's what's in his heart space right now. Possible actions in the next 30 days. We've got Temperance and the Hermit, clarifying the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. The 6 of Wands is all about public recognition, public celebration, coming forth publicly. It's about coming out of introspection, coming out of hiding, coming out of holding things back, and just openly. It's, to me, I'm getting open. I'm opening up. So and he's had this heavy burden. It's like this hanged man, being in the hanged man energy, in that introspection, having, in the recent past of this connection, having his 10 of Cups blocked, having his new beginning blocked, has been a really heavy burden. But he had things he had to accomplish before he could set down the burden. So this combination tells me that he wants to come up publicly and set down that burden of holding back. Okay, so in the next 30 days, for who this resonates, divine masculines will be either actually coming out publicly and talking to their divine feminine and letting people know that she is the choice, or preparing to. Okay, it's one of those things. And the clarifiers for that, Temperance, it's a divinely guided thing. Temperance is about patience, to wait for divine timing. So these actions that the divine masculine is taking, they were set forth by the universe. This is what the universe wanted. Okay, this is what the universe went in and intervened in divine masculine's life to get. And the Hermit, it's, again, the Hermit is very similar energy from the Hanged Man. It's that going within, it's that introspection. You know, divine masculine has been in this place. And it's kind of like, I feel like this Hermit is like a post-hanged man. So he's been in the totally hanged man, isolated energy. And now, I think now he's in this Hermit energy where he's really sitting by himself, planning, clarifying, what am I going to do? Now that I have my illumination, I know what my choice is. I know my choice is my divine feminine. I've got the owl up in the tree, which is imparting wisdom. I've got my familiar here, which is helping me focus and plan. I feel like in the next 30 days, I feel like for most of you, it's an actual planning phase of coming out publicly and setting down the burden. For some of you, it might actually be coming out, and this is going to be a very short energy, because I feel like this is current Hermit. Divine masculine in his actions currently is in this Hermit mode planning stage, deciding what to do with my newfound knowledge of what I want to do with my life, how I want to come to my divine feminine. And the future actions in the next 30 days are probably the planning to are actually coming out publicly with that. Divine Feminine side, let's look at Divine Feminine. So in her heart space, we had the Seven of Pentacles and the Sun. Seven of Pentacles is all about having planted seeds and being patient while they grow and then being able to harvest that crop. And you have this beautiful bush of pentacles that has grown, 7 pentacles. And 7 is a very personal number for me. It's important. It's kind of a lucky number. So this tells me that Divine Feminine has been patient in this process. She's planted the seed. She's done her work. She's stepped back from her Divine Masculine and she's let it grow and progress as it should. You don't plant the seed and eat the fruit on the same day, right? And Divine Feminine has learned this on her journey. So in her headspace, she understands the journey. And she is doing what she is supposed to do and needs to do to have some success with that. And that's leading to the Sun. She knows it's going to lead to the Sun. She knows this being patient and waiting and not like standing around waiting for him to show up. It's being patient and surrendering to divine timing and doing her own thing, planting her own seeds. That's really making this Sun energy possible. It's like Divine Feminine knows that she needed to surrender and she needed to plant those seeds and let the divine bring down light to grow, right? And that's what's happened. And she knows that that's going to bring about the Sun. Clarifying that are these cards that insisted they come out. The Five of Wands, it's like in the beginning, there was this conflict. Divine Feminine was really conflicted about letting this grow naturally. She was really conflicted about surrendering to the divine and letting things grow on her own. She wanted to control. She wanted to control. And that's very natural, a human thing to do. But this journey is learning about to letting go of that conflict and letting God. It's like letting go and letting God. And God, I'm just using in place of divine or whatever you want to call the higher power, okay? She's out of the energy of this conflict, finally. And she is doing the surrendering in her head. She knows it's what's got to happen. This is not productive. She's made the decision to do it. And she's doing it. She made a judgment call. I'm no longer going to force it. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let the divine take over. In her heart space, Divine Feminine has the Two of Wands, which is all about a passionate choice. She's made a passionate choice in her life. And clarifying that are the Moon and the King of Cups. And we have the King of Cups here and here. So we have the King of Cups clarifying the heart space and then leading the actions. So the actions are being led by the heart space, which is really interesting. So the Moon, she can't see. In her heart space, she's made the choice to surrender, just like in her head space. She's made the passionate choice to surrender to the divine, even knowing that she cannot see what's coming up ahead. And it's okay with her. That's a really, really positive place for the Divine Feminine to be. She is in her King of Cups energy, you know. Let me grab some more water. Regardless of gender, it doesn't really matter here. King of Cups energy is all about mastering their emotions. She's learned to master her emotions so she can make the right choices. So she can be okay with not knowing the outcome. She's mastering her emotions so she can surrender. It's very good heart space to be in. And then we've got, for her actions, King of Cups. It's like she's living from a controlled heart space. And that, I don't want you to get that confused with like the Emperor energy where that can be controlling. Like, I'm going to try and emotionally manipulate people. That's not what that's about.
This is about her controlling her own emotions, knowing that she's the only one she has control over. And when you harness your emotions, you're less erratic. You can come from a place of peace. And so divine feminine has mastered her emotions and is coming from a place of peace. In the next 30 days, she's really in a loving, kind, giving, more in control space. And now I want to get some clarifiers on that. So clarifying the King of Cups, we've got the Nine of Cups. So she's really, really feeling abundant. She's filled up all of her own cups with her own love. She's sitting in her self-love. She's basking in the glow of the divine. She's really in a really beautiful energy in the next 30 days. It feels placid to me. It feels like this really, it's almost like a meditative state of surrender. King of Swords, she's cutting out anything that doesn't serve her anymore. All of her old coping mechanisms for being out of union, right? For being in separation. She's cutting those out. She's stopping the obsessive worrying. She's stopping the obsessive checking up. She's stopping. This is about cutting out things that she does in her own life that don't serve her. She's really in that King of Swords energy where she's mastered. She knows what to cut out and what to keep. And then we've got the Tower reversed. It's like the Tower moment happened for this divine feminine. She's out of that. The chaos is not in her life right now. In the next 30 days, she's really in this energy of acceptance, radical acceptance of the journey, the way that it is, being at peace with herself, cutting out anything that comes to her that doesn't serve her. You know, this is a place where divine feminines often get tested before union. And it's tested to see, are you really living in self-love? Do you really know your worth? Maybe relationships are coming at her and she's open and receptive to them, but she sees that it's not right for her. So just cuts that right off. I'm sorry, bud. You don't treat me right. We're done. We're done here before we start. Maybe job situations are coming at her. Maybe she's being offered less than she deserves. And she's saying, you know what? No, I really am worth what I asked for. And if you're not willing to give that to me, I know that someone else will. Okay? There's no more chaos in her life. She's mastered that. The things that used to come at her that threw her and in her energy, that would really disrupt her energy, it's no longer doing it. She's out of those Tower moments, and she's really basking in her self-love, her self-worth, and her connection to the divine. That's where the divine feminine is in the next 30 days in her actions. That's what she's doing. Really, really nice. The overall energy of the King of Cups, both parties are getting into this space of mastering their emotions, in coming from love and leading from love. It's a really, really beautiful place to be. If both counterparts are learning to set healthy boundaries. With this Nine of Wands, they're coming out of battle. Like, look at this guy. He's battle worn. He's got like a bandage around his head, and he clearly was wounded, and now has this wands all set up. It's like, you cannot disturb me anymore. Throw it at me, world. Throw it at me. The things that used to throw me will no longer throw me, because I've been through my battles and I've learned, and now I have up healthy boundaries. Both parties are that way. And I'm just really attracted to the Judgment card underneath the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. For your overall energy, this Judgment energy, what I get from this particular Judgment is the divine is looking down and saying, good job. I am judging your actions. I'm judging your learning, and I see beautiful, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm really getting that. Both parties here are being judged fairly and beautifully by the divine as being divine beings, being divine counterparts. and it'll be rewarded. That's what happens. Okay, let's get some charms. I just want to leave that Nine of Cups on top because I feel like it's so important. Okay. And we'll leave the King of Cups showing up too because I also felt like that was really important. Okay, so let's grab the charm board. Let's see what we get. It's always so fun to see what comes out with the charms after a reading. Okay. I guess flamingo is coming out a lot lately. Squirrel. Oh, I've never seen that one come out before. Huh. I didn't know I had that one. Okay, let me take a minute here to absorb what we have. Okay, nice. I'm excited to show you. So here's what we have in the charms. So first I'm going to point out, and I like to group them because I kind of read them that way. The lobster, it's either a lobster or a scorpion. I'm never sure, but they mean the same thing to me, so I guess it doesn't matter. The scorpion lobster. The stethoscope with the little heart shape and the bed. It's a made bed. So I'm going to show you. I have a little bruise on my hand. Ignore that. I hammered my hand the other day. So these three definitely go together for me. So we have the stethoscope, which is about care, about healing. And we have the lobster, scorpion, whatever we want to call it, which is about being injured. It's about being hurt. And there's the bed, which is about rest. It's about self-care and recuperation. So clearly and this applies to both counterparts. Both counterparts have been really injured in life in some different ways. And they've taken the time within this connection. They were triggered to take the time to heal. They did their self-care. They put themselves in a time of rest, in a time of recuperation, in their healing, because these healing and recuperation go together. You can't have surgery without resting afterwards to heal up. They go together. So they went in and did the work. They did the healing and they did the recuperation after the pain that they've been through in their lives. So it's really good. You know, currently they're in this energy of creativity and building. So we have the I love quilting. I don't love quilting, but quilting is about being creative and building something, and it's an individual creativity. It's very niche, right? Quilting. If you're a quilter, all the quilters I know are hardcore quilters. They're really into that. If you're a musician, if you're a drummer, if there's a drum set, you're probably really into building your skill. So I see here that both counterparts are understanding their talents and really learning to use them in constructive, beautiful ways. So they're using their creativity, they're building their creativity, and they're storing up their resources. The squirrel, I always think of storing nuts for the winter. So it's like they're in this time right now where they're building up what they need for the future. And that can be money. It can be investments. It can be progressing and building in their job. It can be having healed themselves so they can have a healthy relationship. It's about building communication skills. So in the future with their partner, with their divine counterpart, they'll be able to communicate effectively and solve problems. It's about really clearing their mind space. It's learning to meditate. It's learning to build all their skills, abilities, and resources for this future connection. So this is a really beautiful energy. It's getting creative, it's tapping in, and it's building what you need for the future. Then we've got the belt, more specifically the belt buckle, and the flamingo. So the belt buckle is all about becoming secure. They're becoming secure in themselves, these counterparts. I believe that both counterparts had some major insecurities before they met, from past wounding, for either past life wounding or probably childhood wounding. Society can be really mean, and it can cause us insecurities. You know, they could have been insecure about their abilities. They could have been insecure about their worth, their body, their emotions. They could have been insecure about their ability to provide or about anything in their life, right? And both partners are doing the work to become more secure, to become more balanced. This flamingo is about balance. You have to stand on that one leg all day. That's a lot of balance. So the counterparts here are working on their being secure in self and about balance. And those two things together are going to be really, really strong determining factors in the success of the union when it comes. And then we've got the jet and the frog on the lily pad. The frog on the lily pad is about taking that leap of faith. They're ready. They're getting ready to take that leap of faith with one another. Taking a leap of faith is hard because you jump out with all your energy and you have to believe that you're going to be caught on the other side by the other person, right? And by the divine. And so it's getting to this place of trust where you can take that leap of faith. And the jet is all about fast movement forward into the future, right? They're getting ready for that. So this is a really cool charm reading. I'm going to grab some channel messages now. Let's see here. Okay, grab some more water. I want to start with the shadow messages. I like to start with shadows so we can end up with love messages. Don't fear the shadow messages, okay? If you're new to watching these readings, you haven't heard me say it before. Shadow is just a part of life. It's what we come here to work on, to build, to expand, to overcome sometimes. It just depends on what our shadow is. And so we all have shadow, every person on the planet, and knowing what that is really valuable. So let's see what we've got here. Your counterpart, this is a message from your counterpart to you, the watcher, when you find it. I understand you better now. They understand you better now. It's like at the beginning when they ran, they were so confused, right? Whether you're the runner or the chaser, you were both so confused about each other. You did not understand each other. Your counterpart wants you to know they understand you better now. They've learned, they've grown, they've come to this place of better understanding of you. So that's really, it's like one of the best shadow messages you could get. It's really good. Let's go to the Hidden Truth Oracle and see what wow, that was so fast. Wow, that was so fast. That one I wanted to come out. I want to be more than friends. This person is your friend. They're not just your lover. Whenever this card comes up, I really get that message strong. This is not just your lover. It's a friend too. And in twin flame connection, that is not surprising. We're often best friends, right? Because we get each other in such a deep level. And they want you to know if this person, and I'm getting this message, if this person told you, hey, we can only be friends, I just want to be friends right now, or I can only ever be friends with you, that wasn't true. This is telling you, they want you to know they definitely want you as a life partner. They don't just want you as a friend. They do want you as a friend, but you're the love of their life, okay? And let's get a messages of love oracle card. Is there a message to the watcher from their counterpart? Is there a message in here to the watcher from their counterpart? Is there something their counterpart would want them to know? Is there something the watcher's counterpart wants them to know? Okay. Obsession. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. And I'm going to tell you by the reading that it's the masculine. The feminine is in such a place of peaceful abundance that I know the masculine is doing a lot of social media checking and doing a lot of thinking about when I can come forward, how I can come forward, how could I possibly make it work, that kind of thing in their planning. They are not stopping thinking about this. So feminines out there, this message is for you from your masculine. They are thinking about you a lot. I mean, obsession is a harsh word because we can take that to mean like some kind of mental illness, and that's not what this is about. This is about the masculine is not stopping thinking about this until they solve whatever dilemma is holding them back. Okay. And then I'm going to get some of my messages that I wrote. I've got several hundreds of these little cards, and they're positive, negative, everything in between. There's all kinds of messages in here. Let's see if anything comes out. Is there a message? Wow. No, I felt like a whole half the deck flipped. Is there a message from the watcher, or for the watcher from their counterpart? Let me just recenter a second. That flustered me. Hold on. I don't like to read unless I'm feeling centered. Just give me 1 second. Grab some water. Let me make sure I feel like I've got the right deck. I grabbed really fast. I'm just going to bring them all out here and then reshuffle. Sometimes things feel off and I immediately will stop because it's so important that the messages be right. I'm going to redistribute the decks. That's what I'm being guided to do. This is kind of how I do this. It's just to make sure that the messages, the appropriate messages, are actually in the deck that I'm pulling from. Okay, I'm pulling from here. I had a couple flip outs, so I'm going to go ahead and take them. I'm emotionally exhausted. So watcher, your counterpart wants you to know that they've really been in their emotions. This has been a tough journey and they're tired. That's not saying that they can't go on. It's just letting you know, oh, I might be in a break right now because I need the mental break. We all need that sometimes. They also want you to know that they're rebuilding their finances. I was just talking about money. And we can't, especially divine feminines like me, we're not money focused. We're not money centric in general. I enjoy the nicer, finer things for sure. Don't get me wrong. But it's never been the focus of my life. It will never be the center of my life. And there are so many more important things in the world. I like to be comfortable. I like to know that things are taken care of. And I like to have my ducks in a row. I am a Capricorn. But money is never my focus. But it also is something that you need to get by in the world. It's, you know, however you choose to exist, you need some form, some amount of money. Whatever it is that you need to get by. Your counterpart wants you to know that they are rebuilding their resources, their finances. They had been drained at some point. maybe a karmic partner, a karmic situation, a karmic job, whatever it is. They're rebuilding that, and they want you to know that their material stability is improving. And that probably was some kind of block in the connection as well, them feeling like they didn't have enough to be with you, you know, to be the half of the relationship, you know, a stable half of the relationship, you know, because it takes two, right? I'm gonna do it one deck at a time, like in halves. Is there a message here for the watcher from their counterpart? Is there a message for the watcher from their counterpart? Message for the watcher from their counterpart. I'm working to stop bad habits, whatever they have that's blocking the connection, whatever karmic habit, whether it's maybe drinking, smoking, drugs, gambling, sex addiction. It could be bad eating habits. It could be bad spending habits. It could be bad communication habits. Any habit that you build, they're learning to stop it. They're replacing their bad habits with healthier ones. So that's a really, really positive message. That's something I would want to see myself. I need rest. We just saw this. I'm emotionally exhausted. Your counterpart is in a rest period right now. They really need it. You know that exhaustion that overcomes you sometimes, and all you want to do is be in bed for a couple of days. That's where they're at right now, and they're not going to stay there. And you know, we saw the bed charm over here. This is like a real theme for your counterpart. They're in a period where they've been drained in some fashion, and they're getting rest. They're recuperating so they can come back as their best selves to be with you. Feeling the other deck now. So is there a message here from the watcher's counterpart? Is there something they really want them to know? What do they really want them to know? What do they really want them to know, the watcher's counterpart? You are my first thought every day. Your person loves you. You are always on their mind. You're probably the last thought before they go to sleep. I know in my situation, literally, my divine counterpart is my first thought upon waking and my last thought before I go to bed. That's very true. And that is true for your counterpart. This has been your reading. I hope that this gave you some clarity. I hope that this helps you move forward in a more positive direction. Please go ahead and take that moment to hit the thumbs up while you're still here. It would be really helpful. Oh, I'm gonna pull a couple of individual messages too, so don't go away. But let me finish what I was saying. While we're on the subject, please hit that thumbs up. That really gets the messages out to the people that need them. It's really all up to you guys. So the more that you guys do that, the more people get to see it, and the more we can pay it forward and give out positive energy to the Twin Flame Collective as a collective. Also hit that subscribe button and the all, and you'll get all of these videos as they come up. You'll get notifications. It's free too. Subscription on YouTube, on my YouTube in particular, is completely free. I don't have any paid content on YouTube. It's all a gift from me to you. Okay, let's set these aside and let's look at, I'm feeling like the reason that I did it this way is because I need to get some messages from here too. So I'm going to leave these cards out. I usually just use these in readings. However, I want to see what this is because it was buried in the wrong deck. Friendship. This friendship was leading to more. Again, I want to be more than friends with you. This person, you are their love. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and use the Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, for one person watching the video, an individual or a very small group in a parallel situation, Spirit, tell me something they need to know. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Oh, there's a bunch reversed here. Let me fix them. Or not reversed, but upside down. I don't feel like that was the right thing here. Okay. For an individual or a very small group of people watching this video right now, what is the situation that they're going through and the advice that they need to handle that for the best way forward in their connection? Tell me about a situation that's happening out there for someone watching this video. And if it's you, if you find that one of these messages resonates for you, if this is for you, please tell me in the comments. I would really love to know what's hitting home. I always want to hear from you anyway. Okay, what is the situation happening out there right now for someone watching this video? What's the situation happening? Whoops. Backwards. The cards are hitting me backwards. It's like there's some kind of step back. But let me see what the cards say. Everything means something. My mom is a handwriting analyst. It's called a graphologist, and she's on the American board for that. And it's so interesting how every little thing means something, and it's the same in tarot. Okay, King of Cups again. He's popular today, King of Cups. Okay, what goes with the King of Cups in this situation going on right now? What goes with the King of Cups? Okay. This really interesting grouping of, okay, this is definitely someone watching this video because it's the same cards. These same 4 cards keep coming out and out and out. I put them back, they come back out. Okay, please tell me who this is because this is really interesting. I'm going to get clarifiers now. I'm going to clarify with the Light Seers Tarot. We'll clarify the King of Cups here. And I just get one clarifier for each of these mini messages and it tells me what the situation is. Spirit will give me 2 just because I said that too. No. The Sun. Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Why is the Ace of Cups here? Queen of Cups. Why is the 5 of Wands here? Why is the 5 of Wands here? The World in reverse. Okay. Why is the Judgment here? What's the Judgment about? What's the Judgment about? This situation for someone who's watching. So what showed up when I dropped these 2 piles of cards is a Chariot and the 2 of Swords. I'm going to take just those 2. There's a whole pile underneath each, but it's a mini reading. I can't go that in depth. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups, disappointment. So what's going on for this person or this very small group? Okay, so mastering your emotions is really going to be an integral part of your progressing on your journey. It's what's gonna bring you happiness, fulfillment, success in this connection. Is mastering your emotions, learning not to be so reactive when things come at you, hit you. It's mastering that inner calm, that inner peace. You know, you want your new beginning. You really want your new beginning. You want to be in that Queen of Cups energy. And this is matching court cards. So, you know, you're coming to the place where you're going to be on the same level. And that's when you can come into union, is when you're on the same level. If you want to be on the same level, especially if you're divine femme, lead with this. Lead with mastering your emotions. Lead with getting to the point where things don't trigger you and affect you. Do that healing so you're not so reactive and triggered. You know, I want to point something out, and I was just having this conversation in my head before I did the reading. I was in the shower and I was thinking about how people might not understand what mastering your emotions means. You know, we hear all the time on this twin flame path about mastering your emotions, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have them anymore. You're human and you're in a human experience, and you will always, as a human, have and deal with emotions. If something sad happens to you, you're going to be sad. If something happy happens to you, you're going to be happy. If something frustrating happens to you, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to have the whole range of emotions throughout your whole lifetime. Mastering your emotions, what that is about, it's not about not having them anymore and becoming inhuman. It's about how you deal with them when you get them. It's about how long you have those emotions and how you transmute the energy and what you do with the energy, because emotions are energy. So if something negative happens in your life, if this is something you perceive as negative, and you lose someone, or you lose a job, or you become injured, or whatever it is that happens in your human experience, you're going to have the emotion. But then when you've mastered your emotions, you learn what to do with it, right? Are you going to wallow in it? Are you going to live in it for 6 months? Are you going to say, now I'm unhappy for the rest of my life? Or are you going to say, I'm unhappy now, experience the emotion fully while you're in it, and then let it disperse, transmute that into a positive energy. You can always transmute a negative emotion into positive energy, and that's what mastering your emotions is all about. And so this is your work right now, is learning to master your emotions so you can transmute the energy. Let yourself have your emotion in the moment, right? Let yourself be sad or happy or frustrated or dismayed or whatever it is, right? But don't live there. Don't unpack it and live there. Experience it fully, then let it go. Transmute it into something better. Use it. Use the energy for something positive in your life and other people's lives. Okay? So this was the other way around. This was definitely part of your work. If you want your Ace of Cups, your new beginning, if you want this happiness, work on this mastering your emotions and learning to transmute the energy. You know, this is a conflict for you. It's been hard. You've been in conflict about this, and you've been feeling stuck. You've been stuck. Your wheel has not been turning. The world, and this isn't the world, but it is wheel-like. You're not completing your cycle right now because you've been in conflict about your emotions. You've been too easily triggered, too easily kept in an emotion. You need to learn to master those and transmute the energy. And once you've experienced it, get out of negative and into positive, okay? Let that conflict in your heart go. And then you can have your world, your completion of a cycle, okay? Until you do, your cycle isn't completing. You know, you have to make the judgment call each and every time an emotion comes up like that. While you're learning to master them, while you're learning to transmute, you have to be very conscious of it, of making the choice to experience it and let it go. And let it go into something positive, okay? It's your choice. It's your judgment call each and every time. You can make something beautiful. See the music coming out of the flute here? I'm really being attracted to that right now, and the butterfly down here. You can take that emotion and transmute it into something good. You can. You just have to know you can. You have to learn to do it. Two of Swords is another card of choice. That's clarifying the choice and the judgment, making that judgment call. You can either choose to stay bound up, blindfolded and bound up by what's happening, or you can make the choice to free yourself from whatever emotion you are in. You don't have to stay in it. You don't have to live in it. And the Chariot, if you do this, fast movement forward in your life and in your connection. Sun card, Chariot, learn this skill, work on this skill. Someone out there, this is your work, okay? All right, let's pull another. I'm going to pull one more individual message. What is a message? What is a scenario that's happening out there for someone watching this video? It's either an individual or a very small group. There's movement forward for this person or this group right now. We've got the Page of Wands. What is a scenario happening for someone watching, either an individual or a very small group in the same situation? And if this is you, please let me know. I really would love to know. What's happening for this person with this? Seven of Swords reversed, and this is a stack that I'm taking, the High Priestess. Seven of Swords reversed and the Seven of Wands reversed. I'm just going to run through these. Three of Swords, and then Six of Cups, the Devil, Four of Swords. Okay, just this, what's on the board here is what I want. Bottom of the deck energy is the Tower reversed. Again, we had the Tower reversed in the reading. Let me get clarifiers. Why is the Page of Wands here? Why is the Page of Wands here? For this individual or small group watching this reading, some situation that they're in. Why is the Page here? And there's backward. There's like one step forward, one step back with this person, this small collective. Why is the Page of Wands here? Why is the Page of Wands here? We've got Ace of Pentacles reversed. Why is the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands both reversed here? What is up with that? These sevens reversed. Seven and seven are 14, if you know numerology, and then you reduce the 14 to a 5, and 5 is about change. I just want to throw that out. And cups, and then something fell on the floor. A sun. Okay. There's change happening. The High Priestess. Why is the High Priestess here? What's this? Intuition and knowing about. I feel like the person watching the message, who it's for, is an intuitive. You could end up being a reader if you're not a reader already. You have gifts that you're either just learning or are untapped. Just side message. Ten of Wands. One more. I usually get one for these, but I feel like I want one more to clarify the Ten of Wands now. Because it's feeling like, to this person, it's a burden. It's either a burden that they don't know how to tap into it, or that it's coming along slowly. Like, when you just begin, it's really frustrating. Especially if you know you're going to have a powerful gift that, yeah. Okay. That's the deal there. Bottom of the deck energy is Four of Cups reversed. Yay. Four of Cups is about being kind of sad, coming out of sadness. So the Page of Wands, in this situation for this person, I'm feeling like the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Feels like a stuck energy, like You want to be fiery and passionate and young and alive and just run off into this connection, but it's not happening right now. It's not, you're not getting your solid new beginning right now, and it's frustrating because you're a passionate person, you're a passionate being, and you want to have this young, vibrant energy in this connection and just go for it, right? But it's feeling stuck. And then we've got, and again, these two cards together to me are saying change, but you know, the upright, the Seven of Wands, is about learning to win your battles in the right way. It's about learning to win your battles without fighting. It's about using your head. So it's kind of like you haven't been doing that yet. You're still fighting your battles. And it's like analog versus digital, right? You're still analog. You haven't become digital. So you're still doing it in an old-fashioned way. You're fighting, and you need to learn to use your head. Actually, maybe your abilities. And she's got her wand in her hand in this card, so it's like learning to use your abilities. And the Seven of Swords in reversed is like it's Seven of Swords upright is feeling not good enough in this particular instance. So you need to come out of the energy of feeling like you're not good enough to do what your gifts are telling you can do. When you do that, when you come out of that energy of feeling not good enough and using your gifts, ooh, I'm getting chills all over my body. Hold on. That was a really strong one. This is like head to toe, and I still have the goosebumps. Person watching this video with your, you know you have gifts, someone, and you've been feeling like you're not good enough to use them, like you don't know enough, or you're not tapped in enough. You are so close to doing that. Please keep going, because this energy of not good enough is keeping you back. Stop feeling that way. Just because you're a beginner doesn't mean you're not good. The best reader in the world, or the best healer in the world, or whatever it is that your gift is going to be. I get reader. But whatever your gift is going to be, everybody started out as a beginner, right? So you can be great, but at a beginner level. And that's okay. Don't be hard on yourself about that. You're going to have such abundance in this field when you get into it. It's going to bring you so much happiness to be able to do this, to be able to harness your gifts. Oh, I'm getting that chill hard again. So when... one of the first ways that I even knew that I was an intuitive was this physical sensation. And I can't remember the word for it right now. I'm sorry. But some of us get a real physical sensation that comes over our body, and it feels like goosebumps. But you can see I don't have any goosebumps, right? It's all over my skin. My skin lights up when something is true or accurate, or I'm hitting on something hard. And I just did that twice. And I don't get that feeling very often. I don't just get it every day. It can be months in between. So whoever's watching this is for you. If this is hitting you, please listen. Yeah, you got the Hierophant in reverse here and the Ten of Wands. This is feeling like a burden. This beginning stages for you is feeling like a burden. Don't let it feel like a burden. Set the burden down. Don't feel like you have to know everything at once. Enjoy the learning process. You're feeling like a Hierophant in reverse. You're feeling like you don't know enough. The Hierophant is a holy man, or a teacher, or a healer, or someone that is really in tune with their gifts and very enlightened. You're feeling very opposite that. So, oh boy, give yourself patience, time, and space. Find yourself a mentor. Go to the local metaphysical bookstore and strike up some conversations. Read some books. Watch some videos. Learn your craft, and you are going to be amazing. I'm getting it again, third time in a row, and that's a 3. So someone out there, this is a really big message for you. Okay, this has been the reading. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I will see you next time.